Hi, everyone. I'm Christy Forsyth with Clarity by Christy. This is your weekly reading where we talk all about what you need to know about the energy that is happening in the cosmos, in the universe, in your world this week, and how you can use this energy to your benefit. So we're going to break all of it down. I'm going to be talking about the channeled messages that I connected with. I'm going to be talking a little bit about the astrology. I am going to, at the end, be building on the messages with a tarot reading. Make sure you stick around for that. Those are always the best messages, and it helps to bring everything together. This is all about helping you to understand what it is that you're feeling, what it is that you have coming up in your experience that is being impacted by the collective energy, the energy that's impacting each and every one of us. So look for yourself in this energy and connect with the messages that resonate with you. I always say this is a collective reading, so make sure that you're only connecting with the messages that resonate for you. Take what resonates, leave the rest. Some may connect, some may not, but we are going to dive in. And I felt really called to pull a card from my Angels and Oracle deck today to start us off before I dive into the messages. And the card that I got was the Law of Attraction card in reverse. And I really am strongly feeling this energy of making sure that we're coming back to, how am I being intentional with my life? How am I focusing on the things that I want versus the things that I don't want? And so the card itself, it's in reverse. So it says quitting, obsession, depression, sloppy. Where are you being sloppy? Where are you obsessing about things that aren't helpful to you? And can you turn that around and start to focus your thoughts and energy and attention on the things that you want versus what it is that you don't want? Where are you letting yourself kind of sit in an energy that isn't serving you? Because I do feel like there's a lot of sabotaging energies that we've been in lately. And so I think that that's important to take a look at. I feel really strongly in this energy that we're being invited to take a look at, where are we defining something as protecting our peace, but really what it is that we are insisting on staying in our comfort zone rather than releasing ourselves from something, or rather than moving forward with something that maybe intimidates us, maybe overwhelms us, maybe is too much for us. So, or feels like too much for us. I don't think it actually is. I think that we're being invited to start and to lean into new beginnings right now, and to be willing to shake things up and to leave our comfort zone. And so check yourself a little bit with that. Are you really protecting your peace, or are you just trying to control it? Are you just trying to protect yourself? Are you just trying to stay in a comfort zone? I think that's an important question for us to be asking ourselves this week. When I connected with this energy, say hello, by the way, if you are watching. I always love to hear from you guys, whether you're watching live or on the replay. Say hello. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know how you've been feeling in this energy. We are right on the other side of a very intense full moon that I'm going to be talking about. So we are feeling a lot of that. Prakasha saying, been feeling confused and overwhelmed lately. Yeah, a lot of people have been. There's been quite an intensity in the air, especially stirred up with that full moon. And well, maybe we'll start there. Maybe we will start with the full moon, because we just had that yesterday, and what a shift that was. In fact, I feel very strongly that we had a powerful timeline shift. I'm going to be talking about that, but what a powerful full moon that was. And the Scorpio full moon tends to be a very intense full moon. Full moons always are. They can always be very emotional, but I find that this particular full moon has a way of just bringing a lot to the surface, whether it's emotions that we need to feel, whether it's things that we need to see, things that we need to understand. It has this way of helping us to understand the mysteries that exist within ourselves. And so you might find that you're understanding yourself a little bit better, or maybe you felt really uncomfortable. And it was because your system was saying, we've got to take a look at this. We've got to take a look at something that needs to be different, that needs to change, that maybe a choice that we made that wasn't most aligned for us, and it's time to take a look at that and make some changes. And I think more importantly, what I was feeling with this full moon is just how heart-centered it was. Scorpio is a water sign, and for me that's always heart-centered, but it very much felt like inviting us to take a look at our hearts and to ask ourselves, what do I really want? Not from that place of logic or being analytical, or I feel like in a lot of ways protecting ourselves or sabotaging our happiness and success, but to take a look at that and to say, what really aligns for me? What do I really want? Where is my heart leading me? Where is my intuition leading me? So we're still in this energy, and we will have this energy playing out over this week as well, especially over the next couple of days. I'm filming this on Tuesday, the 13th. So today, tomorrow, the next day. So making sure that you are tuning in to what it is that your heart is telling you. And that might require you, again, to challenge yourself and say, where am I calling it peace? But really it's an unwillingness to leave my comfort zone, or really it's me trying to protect myself from being hurt, or hold myself back in some way, or prevent myself from creating the kind of success in my life that on a soul level I feel I'm capable of. I'm just afraid, and I'm afraid to fail. I think a lot of this is about a fear of failure. So where are you afraid to fail? And where are you holding yourself back because of that? I want you to keep in mind that everything that is even considered to be a failure is a lesson, is an experience. And a lot of times we will build these failures into our chart as well, into our experience, so that we can have the experience of that, because it's a way that we learn, it's a way that we grow. And so even if you moved in a direction where you're like, oh, like why did that not work? Why did that fall apart? It doesn't mean that you did something wrong or they made the wrong decision, because did you not learn from that? Did you not grow from that? So there isn't a whole lot that is wrong here in this experience. It's just all a learning. And I think that if we can just kind of let ourselves lean into that and to understand there is a learning in all of it, that can be a really powerful thing. Now, I want to acknowledge something that came through loud and clear, and it was really important. When I was connecting with this energy, I heard something about like things that we had a false start with. So what do I mean by that? Things that seemed to be moving forward, like something was going to happen, an opportunity was going to happen. We were going to move forward with something. We were taking steps in a direction, thinking that it was going to a specific destination, maybe a connection that you started, a relationship that you started, something that got off to what ended up appearing to be a false start, meaning so it started and then it stopped in some way. It fell apart, it fizzled, it didn't go anywhere. There's something about that, a false start that leads into a new beginning. So I think that we're going to find here in this energy some kind of a circle back to something where maybe you weren't ready for that opportunity when it came through. Maybe you weren't ready for that relationship when it came through. Maybe you weren't quite prepared to continue to move forward. Maybe it was you, like you were on a path, you were moving forward, and then you got spooked, you got scared, you got freaked out and stopped making progress or turn in another direction. So there's something about this where I feel that we're going to be starting out on a path again and moving forward with that path. And so it might be an opportunity that comes in, or it might be just you deciding, you know what, it's time for me to circle back to that. And it's time for me to begin to move forward with that again. There's a lot of back to the beginning energy here. And I think I said that last week as well. So there's a lot of us being called to go back and to ask ourselves, what was I doing in the beginning of this? How was I bringing a different energy that would benefit me to bring this energy into this situation now. So you might be bringing that into a situation that you're circling back to, or you might be just kind of trying to bring a fresh energy into something. I'm feeling that really strongly with my work and with my business. Like, how do I come back to that excitement and some of the things that were integrated into my work earlier that I'm feeling called to kind of come back to and revisit and work into the work that I'm doing. So hopefully that makes sense, but there's something that you're coming back to, that you're circling back to, and it's going to bring with it a beautiful new beginning. This is such a time of new beginnings. And so we want to be leaning into them and embracing them. I've been talking for a long time about leaning into stuff, and I feel like for some, we found ourselves in a place where we sabotaged ourselves in some way, or we didn't allow ourselves to move forward, or we didn't think that we deserved it, or whatever. And I feel like I need to say, you deserve happiness. You deserve peace in your life. You deserve to move forward and to have the things that you want. And I think that there is a lot of happiness and success available if we are willing to be open, if we are willing to move forward, if we are willing to do what we need to do to maybe address the situation that we're talking about. And you guys might not even know what I'm talking about, or it might be something totally different from what in your mind you're expecting right now. But my point is to be open. And if something wants to circle back, or you're feeling that call to circle back, be open with this energy. Maybe the timing was off. Maybe you shut it down, whatever that is, but be willing to move forward. I want to also acknowledge this massive timeline shift that I experienced yesterday, that we all experienced. And maybe you noticed it because it felt really intense. The full moon already felt intense, but I just felt this energy surging through my whole body. I felt extra tired yesterday. I felt like I was receiving a lot of energy, but I also I don't know how to explain it. I just feel different. And I know to the depths of me that there was a timeline shift, meaning that we as a collective have moved up in vibration, and this will allow us to experience higher vibrational things, or in layman's terms, just better things. Things that we want to have happen in our life. So better manifestations, better creations, better of whatever that is. And so I felt us move up. And the image that I got in my mind when I was asking about this was, if you've ever gone to like dig for crystals, you've done any kind of like mining for crystals, and they have those mine trays. And with the mine tray, you put all of that in and you sift it, right? So that all of the dirt, the debris can come out, and you just are left with your crystals. And that's the energy that I get. I think that there's a big transformation, a big clearing that came with that moon and with this timeline shift that is saying, we're getting rid of the debris, we're getting rid of the extra. So you might just find yourself releasing things. You might be it was a big purge, right? So you might be getting rid of actual stuff. You might be getting rid of people. I feel like a lot of this is us getting rid of our own bullshit, right? The ways that we hold ourselves back, the ways that we are sabotaging us, the habits that we have that aren't serving us. There's a lot of that. And so it's really supporting us in just getting to the good stuff, the crystals, the magical crystals, the powerful, beautiful crystals in our life, so that we can focus on the stuff that really matters. This is about focusing on what really matters and being clear with yourself about what that is, about what your priorities are. And I think that we're very much being shown that, and shown what it is that we really want and what it is that we don't want, where we don't want to be investing our time and our energy. I also feel like because of this timeline shift, that time might feel a little funny right now. So you might have noticed today, or you might notice this week, over the next few weeks, that maybe it feels like time is going more quickly, or time is going more slowly, or maybe a little bit of both. I feel very strongly with this timeline shift as well that we're going to have a lot of choice points coming in. So meaning that we're going to have a lot of crossroads. We're going to have choices that we're making. And what I want you to understand is that each choice leads to the next, leads to the next. And so each choice is really important. And so we want to be listening to our heart and our intuition in order to allow us to make those choices, because each choice could move you further away from where you want to go or closer to where you want to go. It'll be like choice after choice after choice is leading you down a very specific path. And so you may find that with each choice you're making, you either feel closer to what you're wanting to create or further away from it. And there's a learning in all of it. And we can find our way potentially back to some of those choices if we feel like we've made the wrong choice. But it is important that we're sitting with ourselves and that we're tuning in and listening to what it is that we want. And I feel in this energy that our energy is very easily influenced right now. So this is about coming back to yourself and really tuning in with yourself and asking yourself, what do I want to do with this situation? I think you can save yourself a lot of grief and a lot of extra work if you just listen to your heart right now. I put this quote up yesterday. How exactly does it go? Paulo Coelho, The Alchemist. You'll never be able to escape your heart, so it's best you listen to it, or something like that. That's not exactly right, but I put that up yesterday, and I think that it is like we need to be listening to our hearts right now, and that needs to be guiding our choices. Our hearts, our intuition, what we feel, right? It's coming from a feeling. What do you feel is the right choice for yourself in this moment, and the direction and the path that you need to go on? So you want to be mindful of that, and you want to be mindful that your energy might be easily influenced this week. So you may not want to be having a lot of conversations and bringing in a lot of other opinions into the choices that you're trying to make. Maybe people that you trust, but also be mindful that your decisions can be easily influenced. So you are the authority on your life at the end of the day. So making sure that you're letting yourself be the authority. Maybe you hear other people's feedback, but you don't necessarily let that influence you unless it resonates for you, unless it connects for you. So also being mindful, because our energy is easily influenced right now, with who and what you're surrounding yourself with. I last night stopped my text messages, turned my phone, set it aside, because I felt how easily influenced my energy was going to be with that full moon and all of that. And I just wanted to make sure that I was the authority, that I wasn't letting myself get taken on a roller coaster ride with other people's stuff, because sometimes you have to protect your peace and you have to honor that and what it is that you're needing. And so I find myself doing that a lot, especially around full moons that are in water signs. So making sure that you're taking that time and that space to just tune in and reflect and relax and not have all these outside influences. You may also want to do some more filtering, some more protecting of your energy. If you guys would like me to share, I'm happy to share my energy protection quick daily meditation that you can use every day to do that. But essentially it involves surrounding yourself in a bubble of light and setting the intention that only the energy you're meant to connect with, the positive energy, comes through, and that you're not you're not carrying other people's stuff. So be more mindful of that. Do whatever it is. There are crystals that you can use. There are meditations that you can do. There are oils, so many different ways that we can protect our energy, but just be mindful of that. Maybe even just keeping distance in some ways, especially if you're going to be around somebody that really impacts the way that you think or the way that you see things, and you never walk away from that feeling good about the advice that they gave you, right? Be mindful about that. Think about that, what you're investing your energy into. And making sure that we are noticing where we are being shown, because I really strongly feel like we're being shown how we're sabotaging ourselves and where we are preventing ourselves from being our happiest, most successful self. So I think it's going to be highlighted. I think it is being highlighted. And so we want to pay attention to that and let that guide our actions moving forward. Take action in the direction of new beginnings, especially stuff that feels like it's circling back and feels like it's time for you to move forward with that in a different way. So I've already pre-shuffled the deck. So let's pull the cards. I will pull the cards and then I will go over the meaning. 4 of Pentacles in reverse. Not surprised to see that here. The Sun card. The Magician in reverse. The Chariot. The King of Cups. And the 4 of Wands. So let's dive into that. And like I said, I had that other card that I pulled. I think I put it back. The Law of Attraction in reverse. So where do you need to focus on creating your experience rather than worrying, complaining about your experience? Where do you need to come back to that and be intentional with your day? Set intentions. Start your day with 3 things that you want to create that day. Or it can be specific things. It can be how you want to feel. You know, it could be 3 simple statements. I am happy. I am peaceful. I am productive. Whatever that is, but set intentions for your day or specific things that you know that you have coming up. Set intentions for that. Manifest. If you don't know how to do that, I do have those classes up in my membership, claritybychristy.com. You can connect with that and get started with that. So let's start with the cards. 4 of Pentacles in reverse. Where are you holding yourself back? Where are you protecting yourself too much? Where are you not listening to your heart? Where are you not honoring that, right? Maybe because you think that the more practical way is whatever the other direction is. So where do you have your armor up too much, especially when it comes to your heart? Look at the way that he's blocking his heart with that pentacle. What are you holding on to too tightly? What do you have too much of a grip on that you need to release and let go and allow yourself to go with the flow? Being open to the idea that we don't always know what's best for ourselves. Sometimes we have to go with the flow of what's coming up. Maybe blessings have come into your experience, but you're not sure. Like, is this really a blessing? Is this really something good? Can I trust it? Should I enjoy this? I don't know. This is different from my usual experience. And this is saying, let yourself enjoy it. Let yourself, Sun card, be happy. Let yourself experience joy and take a look at, where do I feel out of alignment with my happiness? Where do I feel like life could be happier? And what do I need to do that? But I also feel like this is just that acknowledgement that we did have a big shift. And I think that a lot of blessings are coming through. Let the blessings come through. Let yourself embrace the blessings that are wanting to come through. And make your choices from that place of what lights me up, what makes me happy, what does my heart want? Those kind of things. The Magician in reverse, very similar to this Law of Attraction card. Where are you not connecting with your magic? Where you're not intentionally creating your life by focusing on what you want, by creating a vision board, by doing manifestation writing, by setting intentions, by just taking a few minutes and asking yourself, what do I really want here? Where are you holding yourself back? Where are you preventing yourself from being connected to your power? Maybe you're shrinking yourself when you shouldn't be. You should be shining in this energy. Where are you shrinking yourself? Where are you holding yourself back from what you really want, from the very thing that you create? I think for some people, it's going to be like, I prayed for this and it happened and I didn't know what to do with it, or I don't know what to do with it. And so I just let that fall apart, or I didn't move forward with that. And now we have an opportunity to explore it. Explore it. Explore the blessings that are coming in. Or maybe you had blessings come in that you're like, oh, this isn't what I expected, but it feels good. It feels right. And so should I lean into that and embrace it? And I think that the answer to that is yes. The Chariot. I think that there is a lot of things moving forward. And this to me is like, maybe this chariot was like stalled, was stuck for a while, right? And now it's like, now it's time to move into the new beginning. Now it's time to move forward. Now it's time to go after our dreams with everything that we have. Now it's time to lean into some kind of a new beginning or a direction that you feel really intuitively pulled to move in. And to trust that you are supported, to trust that you are divinely guided, and that your heart wouldn't want to move in this direction if it wasn't meant for you. So I do feel like we might be taking actions. We might be making bold moves in a lot of ways, or it might not even be us. The energy might just be moving forward, and it's like, get in and go along for the ride and let God show you where you're meant to be and what this life is meant to look like, and to not fight against it. The King of Cups, because we need to be connecting with our hearts. I do feel like we're also learning in this energy about emotional regulation. And I hope that you've taken it as an opportunity to use your skills, to use your tools, or to develop skills and tools to manage your emotions and to learn about that, right? I think that every time we go through an intense emotional time, it is an opportunity to learn what works for us. What do we need? How do we manage this without falling apart, without sabotaging ourselves, without avoiding? How can we do that? And the King of Cups, more than anyone in the tarot, takes actions based on what his heart says, based on where it wants to go. He listens to his intuition and he takes action on it. He allows that. And not from a place of being overwhelmed emotionally. It's from a very, no, I know myself, I know my heart kind of a place. So it's from a calm emotional place, but it's from that place of just honoring what it is that his heart is telling him. And then the last card that we have is the Four of Wands, something coming together, something moving to the next level, that false start turning into some kind of a new beginning. And it's coming together in a way where there is a foundation being created underneath it, where we're starting to see progress, where we're starting to see things move forward, where brick by brick something is being built, and we're watching those bricks go up, and we're seeing that it's turning into something real. This might be relationships that are coming together and a new level of commitment. This might be a new level of commitment that you make to yourself about the path that your heart is leading you on, the direction that you want to go. This feels like just joy, like leaning into the joy and leaning into what wants to happen. And I think there's going to be some celebration this week of some kind. Like I kind of just feel your guides and your angels clapping and celebrating, like they finally got it, right? They finally figured it out, or they finally took this step in this direction, or they're finally ready for this to move forward. It just feels like a lot of celebrating and cheering and clapping. So maybe this has already happened, or this will be happening this week, but it feels really good and celebratory and positive and powerful. So I hope you lean into the energy. I hope you make the most of it. I hope this has helped to give you some clarity as to the things that you're feeling. And I am sending so much love and light your way as you guys navigate your week. I love you all. I will see you soon with another video. Take care.